Does anybody know how Google makes money here? Like, raise your hand. Yes, I do. I will tell you that the majority of the people in this world do not understand how Google makes money, right? So if we look at Google, right, we know that there's a search. Any search engine. Search. The product is the organic results. So if you're searching for pet food, for a canine, then the organic results, the better it is, the more relevant it is, the better Google is to you, right? If you go and you search for something, how frustrated are you when you search for something in Google or Bing or wherever, and you search and the results are nowhere near what you're looking for, right? If that keeps happening, you're not going to use it. But that's the product of what Google started their business on, okay? Now, someone said, wait a second, so it's great that we have that here. Now we need to monetize the traffic. We need to make money because you search and they give you results. You're not making money, right? You're not paying anything to search. So how do they make money? Advertising, advertisers. So what do? They allow ads here, right? So ad, they may put it here, an ad, right? So what happens with this business here, okay, is right? So we're going to pay now on a PPC, okay? It is pay-per-click, okay? So what's happening is people are going to go bid for this, for clicks, okay? And I'm going to do this quickly to show you, but let's say we have two different advertisers, right? We have company 1 and company 2, okay? Now let's say that this guy is bidding $10 a click, okay? And let's say that this guy's bidding $5 a click, right? So let's say company 1, company 2, okay? That's their ad, and that's their ad, right? So we have two ads here. Which one is more valuable? Well, from the looks of it, it looks like the $10 one is more valuable than the $5 one, right? Because you're looking at it on what somebody's willing to pay per click, right? Well, no, that's not it. That's not necessarily true because they're looking at it on how much are they making on a revenue per thousand, okay? What are they making on every impression, right? How do they figure that out? Well, okay, let's take the impressions, and then we need to have the click rate percentage, right? Make sense, guys? So here, I'll show you on here, right? We have Google, we have company 1, company 2, right? PPC they're willing to pay, company 1's paying $10, this guy's paying $5, right? So impressions that each of those ads are seeing, let's pretend like they both saw 50,000, right? They're both here. Let's pretend like there's only two companies that are bidding and they're showing up every time on the 50,000 impressions, okay? Now, click rate percentage is super important for Google, right? Because they're looking at it as how much are they making. Just because they're bidding $10, that doesn't mean that they're paying $10. They only pay $10 when somebody clicks, right? So what happens if company 2's ads are way more compelling to the user than company 1? Well, let's pretend that these guys have a 1% click rate. Let's pretend that they have a 5% click rate, okay? Let's get those percentages in there. So we look at it here, times the 1%. These are clicks. We look at it here, times 5%. So now here's the total clicks, right? So what are they spending? Spend 500 clicks times 10 is $5,000, 2,500 clicks times 5 is 12. Well, now I ask you, which one is more valuable? Is the $10 PPC ad more valuable than the $5 PPC ad? No, right? The variable is this, right? This is the variable. It's, oh, that's a bad color. Ooh, let's make it blue. Yeah, right? So it's all around this click rate. Now, let me just show you. Google's looking at this as what is the RPM, right? What is the effective revenue? Effective revenue per thousand, right? So you take that divided by the 50,000 divided by 1,000, and the effective RPM is 100. So that divided by that, boom. Okay, now effective RPM, the effective revenue per impression is that divided by 1,000. Woo, right? I was right. Cool. That divided by 1,000, and that's what they're making, right? This is what Google cares about. This is how Google is going to evaluate the business, okay? So right here, company 2 is the winner, right? Boom, boom. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Loser, loser, right? It's great that they want to pay $10, but it doesn't work. Whatever their ad is not clicking. So Google's not making money. So you got to understand when you're buying traffic, right? When we're buying traffic, right? Let's go back to that. When you're buying traffic here, if this is Google, right? You need to understand what does the publisher need to make to get traffic. That is so important. And you have to measure that in some way, right? And just FYI, look, if I made this the same click rate, all of a sudden now this is more valuable, right? 3%, still more valuable, right? It could perform not as well, but more valuable because they're willing to pay $10, right? So you kind of play with those numbers and mess around. Google just wants to make as much money as they can. And it's just a matter of what is the most valuable thing to them on their page, and it has to be relevant, right? It has to be a good user experience. Otherwise, you're like, if you're not having fun and you don't like it there, you're not going to come back, and that's a big problem. Like, publishers don't want that. They want you to stay.